Hey guys, Whiskey here with DIH Outdoors, and I thought we'd do something a little different today since we're all quarantined in our houses due to the coronavirus, or COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. I thought I'd cook y'all a little something, and I know it's not professional, but thought I'd teach y'all a little something about how I do it and what it is, and that's about it. So today I got 6 teal breasts sitting in the sink defrosting right now in some warm water, and I'm going to make a little teal rice gravy corn. We call it rice and gravy from where I'm from. So yeah, I'll show you how I do that. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our teal breasts that have been sitting in the sink, and we're going to let the water out, and we're going to put them onto our cutting board. With rice and gravy, you want your pieces to be about 1 inch thick, or a little bit less than that because these are breasts, and you're going to just kind of lay them out, and we're going to season them first. And they're still kind of stuck together. I probably should have let them defrost a little bit longer, but I'm assuming you know how to defrost, so we'll just ignore that part. So you're going to lay them out, and as you can see, they're breast size, of course, because they're a breast. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the larger ones and just kind of cut them in half to where they're about, I don't know, 1 inch by 1 inch, and then, you know, however thin you make your breasts. Because what we're going to do is we're going to fry these first, not fully, but just enough to get a little bit of, I don't know what you people call it wherever you're from, but we call them grémis or gratons or whatever you want. It's the little black stuff that sits on the bottom of your pot when you're frying or cooking, and it makes a gravy thicker, so your gravy would be better. Alright, so after you cut about, all your breasts are about the same size. I forgot to cut this one, but that's okay. You are going to turn your stove on. I want it to get hot, and my oven kind of sucks because I'm a college student. So I'm going to turn it on high first. And you are going to take some oil. Damn doors. And you're going to coat the bottom of this pot like you're frying. Just about 1/8 of an inch of oil on the bottom. Just like that. And we're going to let that get hot. So I'll be back in a few minutes. So while that oil's heating up, I just washed these off and got all the nasty off of them. So I'm going to season these real quick before we add them to the boiling oil, or the heating up oil, whatever. It's just mainly your main seasonings, really. I use Tony's, but Slappy Mama, anything like that with cayenne and other stuff like that should be good. Onion powder, garlic powder, meat tenderizer, salt and pepper, just your normal seasonings. So we're just going to season these real quick. Not too much on all of them because these are very tender and I love the flavor, the duck game flavor in them. And then we're just going to, so that was pepper. Now we're going to add some salt. And a lot of people don't like Tony's because it has salt in it, but I just find that when I add it to my seasoning, to my gravy, it kind of comes off and makes the gravy saltier. That way my gravy is not just bland. So we're going to come in with some garlic powder. Just like that. Not too much on a single individual one. And then we're going to go with some meat tenderizer. Not too much. I just like a little bit. Just like that. And we're going to come in with some onion powder. Bam. And then we're going to come in with some Tony's. Now this I like to go a little heavy on, as I'm sure you can tell by my accent. I enjoy spicy food because I am from South Louisiana. So we're just going to do like that. And if you get too much on one, just don't worry. You can spread it out or blah, blah, blah. However you want to do. Alright, and then we're going to flip these over. Said earlier, if you put too much on one, like I put a little too much garlic powder on that one, it's all going to come out in the gravy, so it'll be all right. Come back with some Tonys, and you can put a little extra Tonys than I'm putting, or a little less. It's all up to you. All right, guys. So this oil is getting hot now, and I'm sure you know how to test oil. You just drop it in if it makes a sizzle, and you're ready to go. So these are all seasoned, and we're just going to throw these in there. If you have a smaller pot with less tea or something like that, just cover the bottom as much as you can. I'm going to try to fit all these, and if I can't, then I'm just going to do 2 batches. So here we go. Remember, don't burn yourself. Please be careful. I'm not liable for your injuries. Yeah, so while those are frying, we're just going to let those, I'm going to get something to put everything on try and put everything on the bottom. So we're just going to get these on the bottom like that. And all you're looking for really is a golden brown bottom. That way you know that, like I said earlier, the gratins or the grémis are on the bottom. And I'll show y'all what those look like when I get to them, but I'm just going to let these fry for a few minutes, and then I'm going to flip them. These have been cooking for about 6 or 7 minutes, about 3 on each side. And as you can see, they're just kind of brown, golden brown. This one's golden brown, you know, as you can see. And if you look down there in the bottom of the pot, you see all that black stuff, that brown stuff? That's what we're looking for. That's going to make your gravy. So we're just going to keep sloshing these around, and then we're going to go get some onions. So follow me. So here's my green onion garden. It's not much, but it's enough. So we're just going to take some green onions. We're not going to need too much, but just enough to fill up my Magnolite pot that I have. And that's not supposed to be in there. That should be enough. About 5 or 6 little leaves. I don't know what you call these. And we're going to bring them back to the kitchen. We're going to chop them up. So we're back with the green onions, and we're just going to take these out. Just try to get as least amount of oil as you can, because you don't want to burn your kitchen down. That looks pretty good, I ain't gonna lie. And we're just gonna take all these out to where those onions can soak up the grémis. We're just gonna get all that oil out of there. One last one. And then we're going to take our cutting board that's still full of seasoning, and we're just going to chop up these green onions like you would anything else. You just want it to look something like that, where you have some small herb pieces, and then these didn't break up fully, but they're going to break up. So just like that, and nothing special. So we're going to add these into the pot. And that's what you want to hear. You want to hear that sizzle, because that oil is still hot. And you're just going to put them around and let them soak up all those grémis and all that oil. And then in a few minutes, we're going to add our meat back and add some water. And that's what's going to bring the amount of gravy up. I've added the onions, and like I said earlier, I'm just kind of pushing them around to where all the grémis come off the bottom of that pot. So as you can see, there's not much black stuff left on the bottom. That's because it's all right here, this brown stuff right here. So those onions are soaking that stuff back up, and I'm just kind of pushing them around to where there's no more grémis on the bottom, and I'm kind of pushing around the side of the pot to where nothing's left on the bottom or the sides. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add that meat back. Be careful if you got some oil, it might be hot. And then stand back. Maybe not. That'd be all right. Okay, and then you're just going to put them back in there, and then all I did after I added the onions was I put water in there, like I said, to make the gravy, thinner, but also make more gravy. So all you do is add water until your meat is completely covered. And you're gonna cook that on, you can kind of turn it down from when you were frying your meat. You're gonna want it cooking on about 6 for about an hour. So about a medium to medium high, I'd say closer to medium. And you're gonna cover your meat with water and you're gonna put the lid on. So it's been about 30 minutes and I'm going to check my gravy to see what it looks like. And as you can see, it's about where I want it. So as you can see, it's kind of runny, so I might turn up the heat just a little bit to where it makes it a little less runny. And then I'm gonna put that lid back on for another 30 minutes. All right, guys, so it's been 15 minutes since we last checked it. So we're gonna look at it again, and it's about where I want it. Let's check the runniness of it again. I think that looks fine. So we're gonna leave it at the temperature it's at right now, cover that baby back up, and we're gonna start our other main course, sides, however you eat it. I like to eat it all stacked on top of each other, but that's just me. So we are going to start with some corn, and whereas I'm sure you know how to cook corn, I'm just gonna show you anyway. Let's put that in there, like that. And in this pot, I have just water, and I use minute rice. It's my favorite. Cooks fast. All you do is 1-to-1 with rice and water. So I have 2 of these cups in there of water. And so I'm going to start the boiling process on that. And then I'm going to turn the corn on 3. I'm going to get another spoon to stir. And I'm gonna put, don't tell my mom I put a lot of butter in there, but I love butter. And we're gonna put some butter in there along with a little bit of Tony's to taste. That was probably a lot, but it'll be all right. And in the water, as I'm sure you know, just add a little bit of salt, makes the rice less sticky. So with minute rice, you let that water boil. When it gets to boil, you turn the heat off and add 2 cups of rice. With the corn, you just cook corn. I'm sure you know how to do that. So we'll let this cook for another 15 minutes, and then the corn and the rice will be done. So that's hot. I have let this sit for probably a little bit longer than it needs to, just to get it going good. And I think we're just gonna check to make sure that this is all cooked, and my corn's coming in nice and buttery, and my rice is all ready. Ow. And so my rice is all ready, and it's about ready to serve, but I think I'm just gonna get a knife and check this real quick. Just gonna take a little piece out here and just gonna check it. And don't forget to turn your temperatures on low. Your rice is off and all that good stuff, and my corn is on low. So we're just gonna check this. This is probably not the most perfect way of checking it, but that looks pretty dang good to me. And I'm just gonna take a little piece. It's exactly how I want it. Very tender. The duck taste is still there, but it's got a good spice to it, a good flavor. So we're ready to serve. All right, so next thing to do is I'm just gonna teach y'all how I serve my plate. You don't have to do this, but I think a lot of Cajun people from South Louisiana serve their plate this way. If you forget anything from this video, or if you remember anything from this video, sorry, remember, rice goes first. My old roommate, Matthew, if you're watching this, one time tried to put in gumbo, he tried to put his juice first, and I fussed at him. Why do I keep grabbing the wrong utensil? So I'm just gonna put my serving of rice on here. Probably a little bit more should be good. It's about where I want it. That's gonna be good. And then I come with my meat. And then I scoop up some gravy. Get that gravy nice and good on there. And I don't know if you can see this, but the onions right here and right here, let me get a little toothpick. Right here, right there, and right there, the onions have cooked down to where they're not huge pieces anymore. They're just like, you know, onions. After you cook them, they shrink, of course. And then I'm going to come back with my corn. I'm going to sprinkle it on there, like so. And, all right, we're just going to add a little garnish on there, just like that. Because even though this is not a professional cooking show, we're going to add some parsley. Comme ça. That means like that in Cajun French. And I'll let you know how it is after. Hey guys, just got back from finishing my meat, rice, and gravy. Thought it was very good. Everybody said they ate it was very good. If you do something different and when you make this, let us know. Post in the comments or post a link wherever you put it, or send it to one of us if you have our numbers, or put it on our Instagram and just let us know how you do it. So this is DIH Outdoors, signing off.